We were going to take up the Moore case. Are we ready on that, Mr. Patterson? But it could happen. So, and anything in between. Anything in between could happen. But I've got a lot.
And this is for not showing up to the court date for.
In a courtroom packed with routine cases, one woman pleads to settle a traffic ticket on the spot until the judge stuns her with the truth. Jail is still on the table. Her confusion turns into panic as options spiral beyond her control.
And the defendant, Tara Maxwell, appears in person and pro se. Because, Ms. Maxwell, you failed to appear March 26, 2025, we will treat this as your first appearance on one count of operating a motor vehicle without registration or expired tag. This is an unclassified misdemeanor. It does carry penalties, the maximum of which could be a $2,500 fine and 30 days to 6 months in jail. But these are the extremes and not what we typically see, which are about a $50 fine and probation.
Tara Maxwell appears before the court, confused about her failure to appear. The judge informs her this is now her first official hearing for an expired registration. While the charge is minor, the possible sentence ranges up to 6 months in jail and a $2,500 fine, leaving her visibly overwhelmed.
That's what we might typically see, but that's not any guarantees. We might also be eligible for diversion, but let me see. It looks like you've got quite a few things popping up here from 2005. Traffic. Quite a few things going on in your record, but they look maybe more like limited or civil. You do have a prior traffic. I have no idea if the county attorney would consider you for diversion or not. Have you ever had a diversion?
No.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
Is that something you're interested in? You'd have to pay a fine, court costs, a diversion fee, a diversion application fee.
The judge explains typical outcomes: $50 fine, probation, but offers no promises. He introduces diversion, which could keep the charge off her record, yet warns her past citations may complicate eligibility. She admits she's never had diversion, but might be interested, unsure what it really involves.
To see if you qualify, or you could plead not guilty and we could set this for trial at a later date. You could plead guilty. We could proceed with sentencing. You could plead no contest, neither admitting nor denying, but you'd still be found guilty and we'd proceed with sentencing, because there is the potential, remotely, but potentially, a 6-month jail sentence. You do have the right to a court-appointed attorney if you cannot afford to hire one and you qualify for one. So there's a lot of options there on the issue of attorney. Do you wish to have an attorney or waive an attorney?
Well, this is a lot of information all at one time. My husband thought he paid the registration for my car, and we have 4 cars because we have 2 older kids who drive.
Excuse me there. Today is not the trial. If you want a trial, I'll enter a not guilty plea and set your court trial for a later date.
Faced with multiple legal options, Tarara becomes overwhelmed. The judge patiently outlines each path: plea, trial, diversion, or hiring a lawyer. She insists she thought the issue was resolved. Her husband paid the fee. Her confusion deepens. As reality sets in, this isn't just a simple traffic matter anymore.
I'm just trying to figure out, this sounds super, super serious, and it was initially a ticket for not having the right registration, and then I paid that and took care of it, and in my subconscious I was just thinking, okay, we took care of it, and so I completely forgot to go to the court date, or that I even had one.
All right, Ms. Maxwell, what I'm going to do is enter a not guilty plea. You can always change that. I'm going to give you a trial date. It'll be a trial date to the court, and you'll need to be ready for trial.
But what happens if I don't want to go to trial?
I'm going to get to that.
The judge enters a not guilty plea on her behalf, assuring her she can change it later. He schedules a trial date, reminding her it's not final. But Tarara doesn't understand. What am I even taking to trial? She pleads. She thought showing up today would be the end of it.
Okay.
But after you've had time to decide if you want an attorney, decide if you want a trial, this will give you time to decide if you want the attorney, decide if you want a trial, and it'll give you time to look into the diversion if you want to. Diversion could keep it off your record, but it would cost you more.
I don't really care too much about it being on my record, honestly. I just want to take care of it today.
Well, if you take care of it today, you would be representing yourself. You'd be basically waiving your right to an attorney. And if you pled guilty or no contest today, you would proceed to sentencing. And I'm saying I can't guarantee you, but a lot of times it's a $50 fine, a 30-day sentence suspended where you don't serve it, but you have a 6-month probation. And if you violate that, you could serve it.
Still rattled, Tarara says she doesn't care about her record, she just wants to be done today. The judge warns that doing so means representing herself and waiving legal counsel. He outlines probation terms and repeats, "This is serious." Her anxiety grows as she whispers, "I don't want to go to jail."
What kind of probation?
Well, it would be a non-reporting probation, but I'm just telling you what I typically see, not what I'm guaranteeing you or telling you or promising you. I can't do any of that.
Can you explain what a non-reporting probation means?
Well, I'm not going to be your attorney, and I'm not going to negotiate an outcome with you. That's why I say I'm going to enter a trial date and give you time to seek an attorney who could help you with all these questions. So let's set this August 27.
I didn't think this was something I needed an attorney for.
Well, you may not. Most people don't, but I can't tell you whether you do or you don't.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but
No,
I'm
you're
just
not.
very
No, you're not.
confused about what's going on.
Tarara finally asks if she even needs an attorney. The judge clarifies many don't, but he can't advise her either way. Still visibly shaken, she agrees to apply for a court-appointed lawyer, but then reveals she's a realtor, which could disqualify her from free legal assistance.
I understand, and I don't want you to be confused by any stretch of the imagination. I want you to know exactly what you're doing and that you're able to do the process you want to. I can just tell you that a lot of people come in, they waive their right to an attorney, they enter a plea of no contest, which means they don't admit it, but they don't deny it, or they plead guilty, and then we proceed to sentencing. A lot of times it's a $50 fine, a 30-day sentence, and 6 months of non-reporting probation with the conditions that you pay within a set time and you don't violate any laws. Now, that's what I normally see, but in the worst possible scenario, you could get a $2,500 fine and 6 months in jail. I have never, ever seen that happen, but it could happen. So, and anything in between. Anything in between could happen. But
after a recess to fill out the application, Tarara abruptly changes her mind. She no longer wants an attorney, she wants diversion instead. The judge warns her again, diversion isn't guaranteed. If denied, she'll return to square one and must be ready for trial, with or without representation.
I've got a lot.
And this is for not showing up to the court date for a registration? I'm just confused.
All right, this is what could happen for driving without a tag or without proper registration under Kansas law. But I've got a lot of people on the docket, and I want you to have plenty of time to decide how you want to proceed. The best way to accomplish both ends for me is to set this over to August 27th at 1:30, and I think that's also the best for you because you do have a lot of questions that you deserve answers to, and you deserve the opportunity to talk to an attorney as well as to go online and look at the diversion. So as much as you want to get this over with today, I don't see how you can do that with all the questions that you have and the uncertainties.
Still, unsure, Tarara can't even decide if she's pleading guilty. The judge tries to simplify things, walking her through scenarios. He offers one final path: plead guilty or no contest. Get sentenced or seek diversion and risk returning for trial. But the clock is ticking. October marks 1 year since the ticket.
I thought I was to come to court today,
You are,
and then this
I-
would be,
you are
and then
driving without a tag or without proper registration under Kansas law. But I've got a lot of people on the docket, and I want you to have plenty of time to decide how you want to proceed. The best way to accomplish both ends for me is to set this over to August 27th at 1:30, and I think that's also the best for you because you do have a lot of questions that you deserve answers to, and you deserve the opportunity to talk to an attorney as well as to go online and look at the diversion. So as much as you want to get this over with today, I don't see how you can do that with all the questions that you are.
and then this would be, like, I mean,
After back and forth with the prosecutor, the court resets her case for September 22nd. The judge makes it clear, by then, she must have pursued diversion or be ready for trial. If she wants legal counsel, the window to apply or hire someone is closing fast.
being treated like I did something seriously wrong. And now I'm supposed to do what? Like, I show up at 1:30 in August, and then what?
Well, by then you could be diverted and have it off the court docket. You could have an attorney and you could come in and take it to trial.
What am I taking to trial? I don't understand what I'm taking to trial.
One charge of driving without a tag or proper license, I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong now. You would be having a trial for the court to determine if you were driving without proper legal registration or tag.
I was. I
All
was
right.
doing that.
All right, so you're wanting to admit that today.
I mean, I don't know how else I'm supposed to defend that. That's what happened. It was
Okay,
accidental.
well,
In the end, what began as a simple traffic charge spiraled into a legal maze. For Tarara Maxwell, confusion, fear, and procedural chaos turned a missed court date into a months-long battle with high stakes. The judge hopes she used this time to get answers and come back prepared.